Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Thanks for organizing this roundtable. And I think it's a very crucial and relevant topic for us to discuss at the moment. I mean, considering the situation also we are living, so in the impact that the COVID and the lockdown has had in our quality of life. So the topic is really very actual and crucial. And also considering, I mean, the current policy context. So we have a territorial agenda that defends a future for all places in which quality of life is one of the objectives or the main objective of the public policies. And we have also the objectives for the next cohesion policy to have Europe closer to citizens. So I think the timing, it's really crucial to discuss this and also to discuss the ESPON results and to make them useful and be used in regional and national policy making, as Ingmar said about the discussion we'll have on the roundtable. So the objective of making this transnational European knowledge created by ESPON and to apply to different territorial contexts in practice is also one of our key objectives. And so we are very glad that this roundtable and virtual event is organized. So before we jump into the topic and in concrete, based very much on the ESPON project on quality of life that we have implemented, together with some PST members, as we call it, so project support team, including Luxembourg. And I know that Sabine is here also attending and participating in this event. Also, Jana is in the roundtable discussion, and also with an advisory group of experts involved in this topic. So we managed to have a successful project led by Carlo, and he will introduce you to that. And before that, I think it's also a good opportunity to say a few words about the ESPON program. So I'll be very short and try to also to let you know that what ESPON can do for you in general terms. So I kindly asked for the next slide. So we are a European Territorial Observatory Network, and since 2002 that ESPON was created, we have been building expertise in identifying territorial trends and monitoring territorial development at different scales and geographical levels. We offer a set of data, indicators, tools, methodologies, and then, of course, we create evidence-based recommendations for place-based and policies at all levels. And in doing so, we also count with the participation of stakeholders and researchers and advisors in our project. So this is a very interactive process. And of course, we try to reach stakeholders at different levels and policymakers and also other territorial cooperation programs and authorities. So the next slide, please. So, I mean, the topic of quality of life. So this is a cross-thematic issue. I mean, it's the first time in the ESPON history that we have a topic really named quality of life, but we have other projects since the beginning of the ESPON program dealing with the domains related to quality of life. And here are just some examples. For instance, we have a project on natural heritage already in 2004, on cultural heritage in 2006, on attractiveness in 2012, dealing with transport accessibility at regional and local scale in 2012, also with migration, with the services of general interest. Can you please go to the other slide? So we have, as you can see, with green infrastructure, with specific types of territories, So this topic of quality of life addresses different domains, and this is what we are going to also to know more about it today. But I mean, indeed, we had a lot of applied research and targeted analysis already addressing quality of life in different contexts and in relation to specific topics. So the next slide, please. So we are here now at the moment. We had a project carried out and led by Carlo. We have a working paper that was disseminated to all participants based very much on the results of this project, but also take into account the current policy context and documents. And I mean, we have now this event on the quality of life, this roundtable. Then what is more on the pipeline is to have a spin-off activity on a cross-border area, including Croatia, Slovenia, and Italy. And we have probably a workshop in the European Week of Cities and Regions in October, organized together with the Slovenian presidency, dealing with the topic of quality of life. And then we will produce a policy brief to be presented at the NTCCP meeting and the General Directors meeting on territorial cohesion in September and October. And finally, we have a final version based also on the inputs we'll receive for the ESPON week in December, also organized together with the Slovenian presidency. So I think, as I said at the beginning, this is a very crucial topic, also take into account the time we are living and all the challenges we are facing. And I think it's a great opportunity for us here to discuss in detail and giving some examples of the case studies, how quality of life can be integrated in practice in policy making at regional and local level, and of course take into account the experiences we gather on this topic and concept. So thank you very much.